What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Sports Sidebar Podcast. You're tuning in with your boy Rich, and I'm here with my buddies Tom and JD, and we're about to get this thing started. Let's go! Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another episode. We got a brand new one for you guys tonight. How's everybody doing tonight?
It's a little sad that the NFL season's over, Rich. I don't know how you're feeling.
I feel you, man, but I feel like it's never going to be over. The way these quarterback change rounds is going. I mentioned to you earlier about Russell Wilson. They're saying that he's tired of getting sacked. Got sacked 400 times. It kind of seems they asked him if he was up for a trade on the block or anything like that. He said, that's a Seattle question. Kind of like dodged around it, but it seems like a lot of people are unhappy in the NFL as far as quarterbacks are concerned.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to blame Russ. He gets hit a lot, and I felt like there was a bunch of times this season where he's running for his life. So I get where he's coming from, frustrated, but I don't think he wants out of there. I mean, he's got a good thing going with Pete Carroll. I think he just wants, if they're going to be drafting players or signing players, I think he just wants to be in the loop and make sure that that they're addressing his needs as well, making sure that they can get some protection for him so he doesn't get drilled all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's got a decent rest of the team around him. I felt like their defense played better this year. And then Pete Carroll's probably one of the top 3 or 4 coaches in the league. So yeah, I think he just, he's probably just telling you straight he doesn't want to get hit anymore.
Oh yeah, it seems like they haven't really got that offensive line right since they had that big running game with Lynch and.
Yeah, it goes back to the Max Under trade. They traded for Jimmy Graham, and I felt like that offensive line hasn't been the same since.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be interesting to see what they do in the draft. I feel like offensive line is their weakness. It's because it seems like sometimes he's just kind of how Patrick Mahomes was during the Super Bowl, where he's just scrambling around making things happen. At some point, you got to give your quarterback that pocket so he can, make some easier throws. They're also complaining about the offense. I think a lot of people are seeing like these offenses, like how Aaron Rodgers and Mahomes and are doing in these innovative offenses with motion. I think some of these quarterbacks want to get some of that piece of the pie, so to say, in terms of making passes easier, making it easier for them to produce offense.
Yeah, and I think that was part of the reason that the Seahawks fired Brian Schottenheimer and are going a different direction there. Trying to change up that offense a little bit.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And then we had speaking of the Super Bowl. I mean, we had the Super Bowl. We had the Chiefs versus the Buccaneers. Pretty much a home game for the Buccaneers. It seemed like a lot of the sports analysis had the Chiefs. It seems like everybody else had the Bucs. So, I mean, how are you feeling about it after the game?
We kind of had this take going in, right? I mean, how can you bet against Tom Brady, even though, you're staring down Patrick Mahomes on the other side? And look what happened. I mean, I think, we were talking about it right, before this was Mahomes was kind of running for his life, right from the get-go. I mean, I think I saw a stat that said he ran 498 yards before throwing a football. So, he was already, by the time he was dropping back, he was already running around trying to avoid the rush. And they didn't really, I didn't think Tampa blitzed all that much. I think they kind of did the, rush 4 and drop a bunch of guys into coverage for the most part. But people were getting through left and right. So, yeah, I mean, I think we kind of saw that, the Tom Brady performance coming. He wasn't like killer, but he made the throws he needed to make. Didn't really make any mistakes and got a 7th Super Bowl.
Yeah, 21 for 29, 3 touchdowns. I mean, he played a perfect game. Didn't really turn over the ball. Didn't make any outrageous passes. Got the ball out of the Chiefs' hands. And then that Buccaneers defense, they went to work. Kind of like how you would have thought Spagnuolo was coaching on the Buccaneers and the way they were blitzing. But I mean, you can just tell that the offensive line was so depleted. Without their starting tackles and the 2 guys that opted out. It's gonna be interesting to see if they come back. And what they do in the offseason. Do you think which team you think is more likely to get back to the Super Bowl?
Man, that's tough. I would say getting the 3 Super Bowls in a row is ridiculously hard. So I'll just go Chiefs on that end. But I probably would also say that I like the Chiefs. I personally like the Chiefs' chances better But looking at it statistically, it's really difficult to come back a third time. I would say, but they have guys coming back that didn't potentially come back, didn't play this year. They have a young core that's locked up for the most part. So, and a coach that knows how to get back to this game. So, the only not the only thing, but the big thing that Tampa has going for them is they got Tom Brady at quarterback. So, as we learned this year, again, if anyone forgot, you can't count them out.
Oh yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if either team could get back. Most likely, I kind of agree with you. I think it's going to be the Chiefs because they have more people in place already, and then the only thing they really need to do is address that defensive side of the ball. But then outside of that, for the Bucks, I mean, they only got like 14 million in cap room, and then they got like 4 or 5 people on offense that are free agents. And then on defense, they got another 3 or 4. I know Sue's one. Barrett is another. So I mean, I don't know how they're going to keep Barrett or
Godwin.
I mean, they franchised
Godwin
from last year. I don't know if they'll do it again. Maybe they franchise Barrett. But I mean, with 14 million, I don't know if you can. I think Gronk will take a cheap, contract to play again with Brady. But then I don't know about with
Godwin
or Antonio Brown. With that 14 million, are you able to get both of them? Are you able to get one of them? And then can you even re-sign Sue or Barrett? So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, I think it depends a lot on how much of a discount some of these guys are willing to take. I think Godwin wasn't. He was on his rookie contract this year still, so he can still be franchised next year at the normal rate. And it sounds like Mike Evans is willing to renegotiate his contract or rework his contract to help sign some of these guys.
And Fournette's a free agent too.
Yep. So they got a lot of work to do for sure. If it's just a cap problem and not a real money problem, I think that they can work around it and restructure and get these guys all back, or as many guys as they want back.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, it all comes down to who's willing to sacrifice.
Yeah.
For the bigger picture, to try to get back to a Super Bowl, because it's so hard for teams to get back, especially in the NFL.
It is, yeah. Just the toll that it takes on on your body and playing 4 extra games in this case. It's a quarter of a season, and the recovery, getting these guys back to normal and then trying to make that run again is difficult. And like you said, I mean, these guys want to get paid too. They're coming off a Super Bowl win. If you're up for a contract, you want to get paid. So that's usually what leads to these teams not repeating or not having many years of success, is that everyone on these teams wants to get paid. So
oh yeah, most definitely. And that's going to be hard because if you think about it, Barrett's only 28. He's already got 2 Super Bowls. At that point, are you chasing another ring, or are you just done and you just want to get your money?
That's a good question. It depends on the guy, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they only have 31 guys under contract, but they don't really have it. I'm looking at their cap right now. It's not that bad.
No, but I think it's that they had like 14 million to play around with.
No, they got 30 next year. They have around 31 million, 32 million.
Okay, so I mean they got some room. So
yeah, but they got like Mike Evans. They can work his contract. Donovan Smith, players like that. I think that they can rework and figure it out.
And then I mean, everybody's going to be talking about it, the Brady versus Belichick. Finally, Brady proved he's kind of like how the Kobe and Shaq feud was going on for a while, of who could win without the other.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like it's still for those 6 rings? You still feel like it's a 60-40 split towards Brady, or do you feel like it's even more of a spread?
Yeah, I think it's still a 60-40 towards Brady. I think that I think that probably early in Tom's career it was mostly scheme and defense, and that's where Belichick thrives, and letting Tom kind of manage the game. But I think probably post 2005 that changed a lot, and you can kind of see it this year how he took Tampa and turned them obviously into a Super Bowl winner, but just how they morphed throughout the season. And he took more. It seemed like he started to take more and more control. Getting to understand these guys, getting them in the same playing field as him. Whereas Bill kind of struggled without the quarterback, and again, I think you can be as good of a coach as you can be, but if you don't have a serviceable quarterback, you're not going anywhere.
Oh yeah.
So I think he can probably still develop a quarterback, and that's probably what he wants to do, or get a guy like Jimmy G in there and see what he can do with that. I think he can still do it, and that's why I would still leave him at 40% for now. But if he gets the guy in there and can't win, then that's a problem.
Oh yeah. Or if he just doesn't get another quarterback, I mean,
Right.
it's gonna be tough to call.
Yep, for sure.
They always drafted well from what I remember. So I don't think
Who?
the Patriots.
Oh God, they've had some awful drafts lately. I mean, so he's drafted well in spurts. In the early 2000s, he drafted well.
Well, yeah. As of lately, it wasn't.
Yeah, I'd say like the 2010 to 2012 range, he drafted well again too. Obviously, grabbing Gronk and Hernandez amongst other guys, Nate Solder, people like that, Hightower.
Mm-hmm.
Lately, again, he's been on a cold streak, and that's why you're seeing some of the gaps in on both sides of the ball, defense and offense.
Yeah, but I think they also had a lot of guys defensively this year that opted out. That hurt them a lot. But I think if those guys came back, it would be, business as usual on the defensive end.
Yeah, maybe, but those guys are a little bit older now. I mean, the guys that opted out weren't, young bucks. Hightower was older. Chung is older. I don't know who else they had. I mean, they lost, Van Noy and Atlanta Roberts and a few of their linebacking core was brutal this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I have to see them play. And then now they're going to be out a year. Who knows? What they look like coming back. I'm sure they'll be fine, but those guys ain't getting any younger.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. What they do as far as trying to get back into the big picture or in the playoff picture, especially with those other teams rising like the Bills,
mm-hmm.
And the Dolphins,
yeah,
and the Jets. After they get Deshaun, so
we can all dream, can't we, Rich?
Oh yeah. What was your what was the best Super Bowl commercial you saw from the game? I don't know if you remember.
Oh sheesh, I don't remember. The only one I really remember is the Bruce Springsteen commercial.
Yeah, I feel like the Super Bowl's commercials aren't like what they used to be.
No,
it wasn't like you were glued to your TV. Like you didn't even want to leave your go for a bathroom break or go get snacks because you didn't want to miss a commercial.
No, I agree. I was like, I remember even 10 years ago just being hooked for the commercials, and now it's like I don't know if it's creativity or we've seen a lot of different stuff or just people are not doing it this year.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. It was just the focus has just changed. Like they even showed a commercial for the outer space thing. I was like, okay, like why would you? I was kind of like, why would you show that during the Super Bowl? I don't know. It just felt off.
Yeah, I hear you.
And then even though the season's technically over, we still got this quarterback carousel. They're saying your boy Carson Wentz is probably going to go to the Colts or the Bears right now.
Yeah,
that's how I was looking.
I know. I thought that Adam Schefter said he was going to be moved here early this week.
Yeah, I thought you were saying like today or yesterday. So.
Yeah, I know it's logistically it's probably a lot more complicated than just trading him for some picks or something because he's got a big contract. I don't know if he has a no trade clause.
No, I don't think he has that. But I think I just think the money for the contract, and I think the Eagles are asking for a lot. I think they're trying to get one of those like the Matthew Stafford deals.
Yeah.
Where they're getting like.
I don't think they're going to get that.
No, I don't think so. I also don't think they want to let him walk out.
No, agreed.
Especially to the Colts because of the coach.
Yeah,
they signed the assistant coach from the Colts to make Carson stay, but he still doesn't want to stay.
You're saying the new offensive coordinator that they got from Frank Reich there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So they try to get like a lookalike, so to say, to appease him, but I don't think he still wants to stay. He's out of there.
I don't know what Wentz's value is because his contract is just so crippling. Whereas Matthew Stafford kind of has a friendly contract, and I also think Stafford's just been more consistent over his career. I mean, Wentz has had like a few good spurts here. He had that one good season, then got hurt, and he really hasn't been the same since.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's injury prone.
Yeah, I would say that his, you're not going to get anywhere near what you got for Stafford, and Stafford was basically, if you take out the Jared Goff piece of it, you're getting Stafford for a first and a third, right? So I just think it's probably going to be less than that. Maybe maybe a team later in the first round, maybe, or a high second round pick or something like that. I don't see the same return for Wentz, not with that contract.
Oh no. And then they got like the 6th pick, so they're probably gonna get a quarterback anyway.
Oh yeah, I would think they would.
These quarterbacks are gonna be going off fast. They're talking about like maybe 5 in the first round, and that's pretty much all within like the first 15, 16 picks.
Yeah, that you're definitely going to see a run of quarterbacks. I think in the latest mock draft, the Jets are drafting Devontae Smith from Mel Kiper.
Or I think you would be excited about that one. That's if if they didn't get Deshaun, of course.
Yeah, I think it depends on the rest of the situation, but yeah, if he's everything he's cracked up to be, that'd be a good one.
Yeah, that one has you guys getting running back with the 2nd pick, right? With the second first round pick, right?
I don't know, does it?
Those Mel Kiper mock drafts is probably one of the most fun things in the off season for football, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah, Devonta Smith, and then their second one, they got Kyle Pitts, the Giants, Rich.
I don't know if he's gonna drop that far though. I just don't know.
Yeah, Jets 2nd pick. Nope, J.C. Horn, the cornerback, South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Which is a spot they desperately need help at too. So
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see what happens. A lot of time from now until then. We got free agency open up February 23rd, something like that, or.
Yep. Yeah, right around the corner.
So give him a couple weeks. You'll start to hear
a couple of weeks.
The trades that happen that they can't really finalize, but they come out. Guys moving.
Yeah, because some of those people have roster bonuses, and I know that's like March 2nd or something like that. So you got to get them off the team, otherwise you're going to be stuck with that roster bonus.
Yep. Yeah, that's when you start seeing people getting cut and whatnot. But yeah, February 23rd is when you can designate franchise, and then March 15th is the 3 days for free agency. The non-tampering tampering.
Yeah. We already spoke to this guy 2 weeks ago, but he agreed in principle. We're just going to announce it.
And then St. Patrick's Day is the official start of the league year. NFL draft, April 29th. So there's, NFL definitely, tries to keep themselves relevant through the off-season for sure.
Yeah, relevant. Mm-hmm. And then on from there, we had the NBA. Your boy Steph Curry went wild again, hitting shots from the logo, like half court.
It's a 36-foot three-pointer he hit on that one. Pull up.
It's just ridiculous, man.
Yeah, it is. I think he's really, the kind of the, I wouldn't say abuse, but some of the negative talk about him early in the season definitely seems to have affected him because he's been amazing since I don't know. They must have started like 1-3 or 1-4, and the team's still struggling a little bit to find itself. Obviously when your second best player is hurt, it's difficult. But Steph has found himself, and his you're looking at his stats, and they're almost they're as good or better than his MVP season. So he's definitely found his game again.
Yeah, I think he's still like second or third in the league in scoring. But the only thing is, they says Steve Kerr he's not playing Steph, a lot of minutes. He's keeping, sticking to his guns as far as, not putting wear and tear on Steph. So he's not trying to force wins, so to say. But I think that's good because it's going to give it the opportunity for other players to develop, like Wiseman and some of the other bench players.
I mean, he's still averaging. He still leads the team in minutes on the floor. He's just right around 34 minutes a game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you could tell that they're not. They're definitely not like pushing for wins. Like you kind of see sometimes guys playing 40, 42 minutes in a regular season game. I don't think that they're there yet. I think you're right. I think he's trying to keep his usage reasonable and keep him healthy all year.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a long season. So I mean, especially with the play-in games. So you never know. You might be one of those teams that might have to play those extra games to get in. So
yeah, he definitely seems like he's back to the old Steph here.
Oh yeah, and then we had a Durant debacle. Came into the game, got in foul trouble. Come to find out, he was near somebody that tested positive on the contact tracer. Then he couldn't go back into the game. Now he's out for like 2 games.
such a weird story. Like, if there was any chance, why did they try to kind of force him back in there? And I know it's not really the Nets' fault, but you know, I don't really understand what the NBA was doing there. You know, if there was a question, and I know he had tested like negative 3 times in 24 hours, that's probably why they let him play. But I don't really understand why they did that.
Yeah, but I feel like it's also a play because it's a televised game, so you don't want to have the pregame with the rants already out on the televised game. I think more people were tuned in to for him to see him play. Then halfway through it, he's like, oh, we got to take him out.
Yeah, it's the second time he's had to go through this already, and he's still he had it, I think, in the offseason or late last season. So I still don't really. I know they have to have these rules, but this one seems like it's something that the NBA can fix on guys that have already had it and are still testing positive on the antibodies.
Yeah, I wonder how long it's before they they get the vaccine. That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I think it's going to depend on guys that are going to want to get it and guys that don't. I don't think they're going to mandate that you have to get it. Hopefully soon, because it'd be nice to not have to worry about things like this.
Oh yeah.
I'm fine with them taking a spot in front of me if it means that we don't have to see them sit out games because of this.
I mean, right now they're 3 and you guys are 4, so I mean you guys want to play them, so you guys would play the Pacers.
That's fine.
They would end up playing the Hornets. I mean, speaking of the Hornets, your boy LaMelo, he's exactly what we thought he would be, man. He's great.
Yeah, he's gotten off to a really good start. I think everyone, not everyone, because obviously he was drafted high, but I feel like a lot of people were maybe a little more hesitant this time. I think people that saw Lonzo play at first were like, oh, he's going to be awesome. And, he's a good player, but I don't think that he's kind of met his hype. So I think people kind of, maybe pulled back a little bit on LaMelo, but he's been as advertised.
Yeah, I feel like he's way more aggressive than LaMelo than Melo. So I mean Lonzo.
Yeah. I think he's doing a lot coming off the bench. 14 points, six rebounds a game. What more can you ask for from a rookie? Playing off the bench. So good, definitely a good start to the career for sure.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Should have been a Knick. And then then we got Derrick Rose coming back to the Knicks.
Yeah, how you feeling about that?
I actually like it. I mean, they really didn't give up anything. They gave up Dennis Smith Jr., who got sent down to the D League. He just hasn't panned out, unfortunately. He has a lot of issues. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he's not focused enough. I can't say. From what I see, it just seems like he's just not panning out. I don't know if he's not working hard enough. Because Quickly, I like Quickly. Quickly's doing good. I like the option with Quickly and Derrick Rose, as the point guards. I think Derrick's going to definitely come off the bench. He has some familiarity with Coach Tibbs, down from those Chicago days. So I think he's going to be good he's going to be able to teach some of the young players, especially Quickly, how to flourish in that system. Quickly's had some good games, the trio with him and, Randall and Barrett. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. I think we still need another shooter or two, so we can make that push to be in that playoff hunt. Right now, I think we're at 9, but we'll be in that playing game, so it's going to be good to see if they can make this push.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm with you. I like the move. He's familiar with New York too, so he had a pretty good season. Why didn't they re-sign him, Rich?
Well, I think at that time that was when it was the whole Carmelo thing, and I think at that point they were just getting rid of everybody. It wasn't even like let's keep this team together.
Gotcha. Yeah. No.
And then we didn't even have a coach, so they fired Woodson at the time.
Yeah, I like the move, and I like the way that Quigley's been playing. Randall's been playing well. Like you said, get RJ Barrett going a little bit more. Doesn't it? Obviously, I don't think it hurts them. Well, from all things we've heard is I've heard is Rose is pretty good for the locker room too. Guys like him.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in the league 13 years now, so he knows a lot of stuff. He can teach these guys how to. He's been through it all, right? I mean, he's been on the best team in the league, the worst teams in the league. injured. So I think he can kind of bring a lot of knowledge to the young core that they got there.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And then then we had the Utah Jazz. I mean, they're number one in the NBA as far as wins right now. They've been doing it without Mitchell too, so I mean that's kind of surprising. But do you think they can translate this regular season hype into playoff season hype?
I don't know. It's a really good question. I think that the one thing they got going for them is, their defense has been outstanding this year, and obviously, Rudy Gobert, one of the best defensive players in the league, is a big help in that. But I don't know. I feel like in the playoffs, you need to be able to stop people, but you also need to be able to score at the end of the games. And I think they have Donovan Mitchell that can do that. But can he, do it in the playoffs through a few rounds? I'm not sure yet. I think they need to play that out. And obviously, off to a great start this year. I think they started like 3-3, and now they're 19-5. So, but you still have to get through. The West is tough again. I mean, the Clippers are playing well. Utah, obviously, Lakers, the Nuggets are going to be there. It's a tough conference to get out of. So I think it's it's kind of a prove it time for these guys. They were there last year. Took the Nuggets to Game 7, but still needed that one more win there to get to play LeBron and company. So see if they can do it this year.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you look at the standings right now, I mean, the playing games is pretty much got like 4 teams for these playoff games. If it was in the West, we got the Nuggets, the Warriors, Rockets,
Kings.
Yeah, and the Kings. I mean, that's going to be the Kings have been on fire lately. So I mean, they won their last 4. It's going to be interesting to see, how close this race is going to be, for the 7-8 spot.
The Kings have been playing good ball lately. That 4-team tournament would be fun to watch, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, that'd be like it's like almost March Madness, with these, depending on how many playoff games we get, playing games we get, it's going to be. I think it's going to be great. I think they're going to give the NCAA a run for their money this year.
Are they going to do the same thing they did last year, where like the lower seed only needs to win 2, and the higher seed needs to win 1? That'd be interesting because
yeah, most likely, yeah.
Right, the way it's sitting right now, Warriors would have to beat the Nuggets 2 games. That'd be fun. That'd be a fun little 3-game series to watch, or 2-game series to watch.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just the fact that the teams that are in that spot right now is going to be we're going to see that playoff basketball that we saw. That bubble basketball we saw, kind of like with the Jazz and the Nuggets, where people going back to back. But that's what I said. They're gonna get the NCAA a run for their money this year. It's not looking good for the NCAA. There's a lot of canceled games. Some of these top tier programs aren't even at 500. I mean, I think Duke is at 500 right now. They're like 5-5. Kentucky's not in the top 25. Kansas is not in the top 25. I mean, I don't know if it's the lack of playing time together, but it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, it's definitely been a challenging year for the NCAA. UMass is on pause again. It's like the second time this has happened. Yeah, Duke's only got 15 games played. They're 7-8. They lost today to Notre Dame, so they're probably out. Kansas is
yeah.
They've been on a tough stretch, but they're still probably going to be in the tournament. But Kentucky and Duke are potentially out of the tournament. I don't know the last time that both of those teams have been out of a tournament. But I'm with you. It's probably, screws with their continuity a little bit and trying to, figure out how to play together and, getting stopped and started. But other teams are handling it. Like Gonzaga's been okay with it. Baylor's been good with it. Those are the 2 best teams in the country. So it can be done. I just don't know if these teams have the players to do it.
Yeah. It seems like there's not that big draw attraction this year as far as like that star player on who to watch out for. It's going to be interesting to see if Gonzaga can run the table and go straight undefeated. I mean, that hasn't been done, so.
Yeah, it hasn't been done since, Indiana in 75?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely set up to do it. I think that their conference, outside of probably BYU, is a little weaker this year. I think Pepperdine was actually decent, but yeah, I think that, it's set up for them to get into the tournament and at that 1 seed and see what happens. They don't have the best track record, but
I mean, I think they've made it most of. I don't know when's the last time they made it to the Final Four, but I think they've pretty much been in the Elite Eight majority of the past year or so.
Yeah, no, they're always there. I only think they've been to one Final Four though in that whole time, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they always have good teams, but they just couldn't finish.
Exactly. No, that's been the problem. Yeah, BYU's good again. They beat them yesterday. So yeah, they're 19-0. They got St. Mary's left on their regular season. They only have 3 games left on their regular season schedule. They got St. Mary's. Usually, a tougher opponent for them, but they're just not as good this year. So yeah, we'll see. They have a chance to run the table.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Can they? It's gonna be especially the thing is that when somebody gets hot in the tournament, that's when there's a problem. Because there's always that Cinderella team that they get hot and they start upsetting teams, and all of a sudden we're not seeing a Gonzaga in there. We're seeing number 15 no name school. So
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, all it takes too is like one bad game, right? One bad shooting game, and that now you're toast. Oh, Baylor's 17-0 too. I didn't realize that.
yeah, I think there's like 3 teams left.
Yeah, I think Drake was 18-0 as of the other day. Yeah, so I mean, I think once they get to the tournament, I think it may be a little complicated on how they get there because I know that people are a little concerned about these conference tournaments and things like that. But I think once they get there, I don't think we'll notice a difference. I think it'll be just business as usual. They're going to try to make that as seamless as they can. I would imagine.
All right, it's that time again. Time for the JD's Bites and Brew. What you got for us, bro?
All right, today we'll start with the brew. So I drove up to New Hampshire this weekend. There's a brewery in Newmarket, New Hampshire, called Deciduous Brewing. They make a variety of beers, but what me and some of my buddies like to get is their sour beers. So these are beers that kind of taste a little sour taste to them usually, but some of them are kind of have a nice little like pastry finish to them. So this time we got the Lollipop Forest Blueberry and Plum Crumble. So a lot of blueberry up front. The plum was kind of mild, which was nice because I'm not a huge plum fan, but the crumble makes it just so smooth on the back end. So
that sounds like a Willy Wonka drink.
Oh, dude, it's delicious. So probably throw like an 8.5 out of 10 on that bad boy.
Ooh.
Only 5.5%, so easy to drink. The problem with these is you can only probably have one in a sitting, maybe 2. They're just heartburn waiting to happen. Mm-hmm. The older you get, the harder those are to handle the next day.
Our UMass days are behind us.
I don't even think I could have drank those in the UMass days. Yep, that was a good one from this week. On the bite side, so tonight we went with it was a soup. So up here in the Northeast, it's cold again and snowing again. It seems like we've had a lot of snow here in the last couple of weeks. So we did it was a meatball, kind of like an Italian wedding soup. So chicken broth,
okay,
turkey meatballs. We're trying to be a little bit healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Spinach, little ditalini pasta in there, and just threw some little Parmesan cheese on top. So pretty quick one to make. You'll let it simmer for like 20-25 minutes. Serve it piping hot. Throw some Parm on top. Delicious. Perfect for a nice cold winter day.
Oh, nice. That sounds good. That sounds great. Do you guys you get bread with that or just straight up?
Didn't do bread. Trying to save all my carbs for the beer. So no, we didn't do bread this time. Would be nice with a little bit of like a toasted crostini or something like that though. I see where your head's at.
Mm-hmm. You got to get anytime I think of soups, I think of those bread bowls from Panera Bread.
I mean, for like a creamy soup, you definitely have to go with bread. I'm a big bread bowl fan. Big clam chowder or broccoli cheddar in a bread bowl. Just killer.
And that's it for JD's Bites and Brew. Then we got the shows that we watched. You see your boy your boy from Your Honor, the son.
So I don't know what he's doing.
I just want to throw my remote at the screen when I see him
So you know how we
sometimes.
talked about last week? Is it a good idea that Baxter finds out that his daughter is dating the son or not? You know, whether he's dating Adam. I
Mm-hmm.
think the way that he like looked at him, it or the way that the face that he made when he realized who she was dating, kind of makes me think that it
Mm-hmm.
might help him, and it might help the judge somehow. And I haven't figured out how. Obviously, there's only one episode left. I just kind of got that feeling. I don't know why. Like oh crap, this kid is the judge's son, and he's dating my daughter. I can't kill his dad if he screws up, right? But I don't know. I don't know. What's your take on that? I know last week you were kind of on the other side, saying, "No, it's not gonna. If anything, it's gonna make it worse." But where are you at now?
I kind of think the son is doing it on purpose.
Oh, he is for sure. Look at the way that the teacher, his girlfriend there, Miss Latimer. I mean, she was like, she basically told him like, dude, you're not in love with this girl. You are just trying to protect yourself right now,
Mm-hmm.
or you're just like for some reason, just like attracting yourself into this mess. And maybe he has a plot, that he's trying to do something. I don't know. I think that it could go a lot of ways with him. But man, he just comes off as so stupid sometimes.
Yeah, and I'm thinking also maybe it comes to a point where the dad is going to get killed, and then he saves the dad by threatening to kill the daughter, and then I'm still convinced the mom is involved on the back end somehow.
Yeah, the mom's a little sneaky, I think. And now the judge pulled that move with the pills, which I thought was I knew it was a little funky, obviously, when he starts making him or having him drink the water. Didn't know what it was,
Mm-hmm.
but clearly he had a plan there, and I don't know what the reasoning of not going to recess is. Maybe it shows his strength, right? Of like, no, we're pushing through this. You're not backing out of this. Kind of like a fake power move, because obviously he's drugging him at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the mom there's something going on with the mom. She's a little more conniving, I think, than Baxter's. Like, I think power moves. But what's scary is I think that the detective, what's her name? Is it Costanza?
Uh,
The woman detective?
or a Costello, something like that.
Costello, yeah. I think she's starting to piece it all together. Did you see the look like after he basically said
Yeah.
that all that kid's testimony should be forgotten, and the judge kind of looks at Baxter, and Baxter kind of almost like giving him a little nod, not a smile, but just like a all right, we're still okay. And I feel like Costello picked up on that. Between that and the other lawyer there, that is kind of her and the judge got something going.
Oh yeah, the one he likes.
Yeah, and she's kind of figuring out that Kofi Jones couldn't have possibly been at that scene of the murder. I think between the two of them, we're gonna see some fireworks here.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy to see where they go in this last episode, especially with there's just so many moving pieces.
Yeah,
And then the fact that the other gang is not even, they didn't even do anything yet, because they're gonna do something because the son owes them money. So
mm-hmm.
it's just gonna be a lot. But
Yeah,
I like the way it's going though. But I feel like the son is gonna, not the son, the brother,
yep.
Coffee's little brother. I feel like he's the one that's gonna break it open for the attorney, the one that likes the judge. I was about to say Walter White.
So how do you think he's gonna break it open though?
Because I think he know. Well, I think he's going to tell the attorney that his brother didn't do it because his brother was just driving the car. Because I think the gang member is going to tell the little brother, Coffee's brother, about it.
About what happened?
Yeah, I feel like somebody's going to let something slip, and then that's when it's all going to start spilling over.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely set it up where they can go, a bunch of different ways here. I think, so it should be interesting to see which way they end up, taking it.
Oh yeah, and then
we watched finish the Reckoning.
Oh, how was it?
It was actually pretty good. So basically, it's a story about I don't know if you've started it at all yet.
No, not yet.
It's a story about a serial killer, the Russian River killer, basically like kills these young women cuts off, a tattoo that's on their body,
Mm-hmm.
and then leaves them by the river. But we get into the story, and he hasn't killed, hasn't killed in 5 years. Detective that was on the case then is still, in the department. Tell you has some serious issues, probably stemming from the killer. And then girl disappears, brings back everything, and they go on the hunt for the Russian River killer. So I'd probably give it like a 7.6. It was pretty good. Acting was really good for the most part. It's what's his name? Aiden Young and Sam Trammell. Both I thought were pretty, really good actors. The cop and the lead, one of the lead guys. So I definitely recommend it. 10 episodes. Probably would have been a higher rater if the end was a little funky. I wouldn't say it was necessarily bad. It just, I felt like it probably left more open questions than you'd like to see at the end of a show like this. But overall, I thought it was pretty good.
Nice. I'm definitely have to check it out. I'm looking for something else to watch. I finished The Stand.
Oh yeah, how was that?
It was not good. Gave it a 5 out of 10. I mean, it just seemed like it's a limited series, so I mean, it's based off of a book. So I mean, I seem like they just trying to jam pack everything into 8 episodes. It starts off good though, like it's a plague, post apocalyptic type show.
Mm-hmm.
There's some kind of disease going around that's killing people. Everybody that survives is kind of like immune to it, and then some people get this vision from this lady named Abigail, kind of like a prophet, on how to save humanity, and then other people are getting lured away by this dark man. So like all the dark people, all the people that worship the dark man, they live in Vegas, they wilding out partying, and then all the people that are trying to bring society back, they live in like this camp area with Abigail, and it's kind of like a battle, good versus evil. But they don't really get into like what the prophets are, like how if they're really the devil or angels or demons, anything like that. And then one of the dark man gets somebody pregnant. She's supposed to have the baby, but the lady realizes it's not what it's supposed to be. Then she kills herself. Then he goes crazy. Then he like loses power when people don't believe in him. And then one of his like minions was supposed to bring like a atomic bomb to like where the good people stayed, but he ended up bringing it to Vegas, and then somehow this cloud comes and which is like I guess supposed to be like God or like the angels, I don't know, and then just starts flying, and then the bomb blows up, but some people survive in the water, which doesn't make sense because it's radioactive. But I mean, it's a lot of holes and unanswered questions that they didn't answer.
Yeah, I think the problem is on some of these they don't want to extend them too long because they they aren't. I don't know if it's because they're not sure if it's going to get picked up for a season 2, or they don't want to drag out the storyline too long. People lose interest, so they try to wrap it up in 8-10 episodes, and sometimes it needs more. So yeah, I can see that.
I want to thank y'all for rocking out with your boy Rich, JD, and Tom here on the Sports Sidebar Podcast. Give y'all something to ride out on.